but they're going to take a little bit longer than that.
Brilliant. Well, best of luck on Monday. It's good to see you smiling, mate.
Thanks a lot. Cheers, Phil. Thanks for your support, man.
James, over to you.
Hi, Gareth. Gareth, job done. Priority number one started done. Is this the most enjoyable week that you've had since you've been back at QPR in terms of the full-time position, in terms of being able to prepare for a game, in terms of the atmosphere around the training ground with players and all fans and supporters? Is it really sort of, not dare I say, a jovial type of mood in terms of a game which is you don't really get in the Championship much too often? Is this what this weekend has been like?
Yeah, listen, jovial's probably too far. It's not all jokey and everything. There's definitely there's worries about contracts. There's obviously there's underlying worries of the season and why it's gone like this. But there's a sense of relief without a shadow of a doubt. And that's important. That's been really important this year. I think what we will say is that if it's the happiest week is difficult because I'm a positive guy. I'm always okay. Work's work, and I'm lucky enough to leave it at work and go home and still have my life, and that's quite a nice place to be. I've decided to do that a long time ago, and so I can keep my head high and know I gave my best. But yeah, I think looking at the boys' faces and seeing the relief on the face, Jim, it's been really nice to see, because that makes me feel inside that, yeah, we've delivered for these boys. We really have, and can I say that they delivered for me as well, because I asked them to do something, they nailed it to a T, and got us over the line, which I knew it would if we got it right.
And I suppose, Gareth, those previous games, it was all about trying to get the result, whatever it sort of took to get the result. But the final day of the season now, a home game, I suppose fans will be coming out in their droves. They won't see the team again probably in a competitive game until August. Fans will want to be seeing goals. Fans will want to be seeing attacking football. Can you really set up in a different way in terms of this game to maybe go out and really attack, and maybe even to get a positive result in Bristol against Bristol City, but maybe a high scoring game? Is you can really attack this game and let dare I say, let the handbrake off a bit?
I will say Bristol City are a team that want you to come at them and attack them. That's how they play. If anyone knows anything about Bristol, they will say that they're ready. They're one of the best counter-attacking teams in the league. So you got to be careful about going, right, let's go and attack somebody who wants you to do that against them. Listen, I know that the couple of games recently we've played, the solid shape that we've employed has been real soak-up pressure and counter-attack. I think it's worked well, to win a game. I think Leicester City won the Premier League on that, and it's an effective way of playing. But I also understand that you can't do it all the time. So yeah, got to be careful about just going gung-ho on Monday and having a big drubbing, because that's what the opposition want you to do. I'll analyse the game as I always do, and we'll find out their strengths and weaknesses. But I'm sure there'll be one or two faces that will get a game that probably haven't been in the team lately, and we'll see where we go from there.
And Gareth, obviously you're not going to give the ins and outs in terms of transfer strategy, but can I talk about it maybe in a broader type of view in terms of the summer, in terms of where Queen's Park Rangers are at, in terms of when you're looking maybe at the future? Is it a 12 where you be able to look at maybe possibilities of maybe players from League One that maybe might have gone to maybe League One teams, big profile teams like maybe Derby, maybe that mightn't have got promotion back to the Championship? In terms of that, there might all be some maybe looking for maybe new adventures in the Championship. Are you maybe looking at the possibility of maybe players that maybe have come down that might be relegated from the Premier League sort of clubs that mightn't be part of the new strategy in terms of those clubs getting back to the Championship? Or are you maybe looking at the possibility like maybe of what clubs like Millwall have done, maybe looking for one of those gems outside Europe that maybe people mightn't have heard of? What's the sort of approach? Are you looking for players with experience of the Championship, or are you looking for maybe a variety of all?
Well, all of the above there, and what I will say is this place, I've gone on about it in the time I've been in. We lack characters. We really do lack characters and leaders. So that's big for me to bring in. I think we've got to make sure that we have some leadership qualities in the squad, and that's important for me to look at to sign. Championship experience is going to be important, but also there is gems in the lower leagues that have proven year after year that they can come up and earn their crust in the Championship. What I will say is we won't be spending the millions that some teams will be doing in this league. We just can't afford to do that. So, but we'll see where we are. I'm sure there's going to be interest in some of our players as well, because we have some good players here. So yeah, it's different for me. I've only had a couple of Championship windows in the past, but they've gone okay. They've gone okay. I think the injuries as well. I think we need to get some robustness around our squad, and not carry too many injuries, because I think that's killed us. So, we're looking into all this in factors of who might join with QPR in the window, and hopefully we can have a robust, fit squad that I can select from next year with plenty of characters in there. But I think the early part of the window will be very cagey. I'm not sure that teams will come in for our players straight away. I'm hoping it doesn't go right to the end of the window, because that leaves you short. It's all about timing. It's all about taking the right players at the right time at the right price, and that's what I've got to do for QPR.
And Gareth, in terms of liaising with your scout department and your head of the scouting team, obviously you will have a fair idea of players in terms of who played in England and who have played at maybe a Championship or League One and level. But obviously your scouting department, they will have reports done of players in terms of overseas. And we've seen some clubs that have done that strategy. I mean, Brentford are the classic example of who have maybe scoured the Europe, have came up some real gems in terms of Scandinavia. In terms of that, they've gone about a different sort of approach. How important is it that sort of that partnership, that sort of trust that you can have in terms of your scouting department that might relay information of players that you might be too aware of and might show you approach? Is there a level of trust that you develop, or will the final say always go with you, and will you be happy to see a person there in front of you, or is it an open level in terms of policy?
Well, I'm hoping that the final decision will be mine. I'm sure there'll be definitely some conflict between me, the scouting department, Les Ferdinand, obviously with director of football, and my coaching staff. But I would prefer to be the final say, the head of recruitment here. But we've got a great recruitment team. We've got great people around the place. I'm definitely going to be made aware of some people I don't know about, 100%, because we have scouts in other places, in European places, which we'll have to have a look at. But I've got a good idea of the English market as well. So I think the team effort is what it's all about. But ultimately, I'm the one who puts the team out. I'm the one who stands on the touchline. I want those to be my players on that pitch on a Saturday, and that's important to me. I'll live and die by that decision. I don't want anyone else having to worry about that. But yeah, it will be a team effort. Yeah, we've already started the meetings and started what we're doing on that side of things.
And finally, for me, Gareth, in terms of, you mentioned about markets, but in terms of Ireland, I know clubs in League One, MK Dons have done a good lot of success. They've gone into the Irish market in terms of picking up players for relatively nothing from some of the top clubs in Ireland. Is Ireland the market that interests Queen's Park Rangers in terms of players that maybe from the top clubs in Ireland that might be playing in the European sort of club qualifiers to get into the Champions League or Europa League, that haven't made the group? Do you think Ireland has some sort of talents that the QPR might find that clubs in League One now, in terms of Sheffield Wednesday, or have gone hunting for cheap sort of bargains, and they've been rewarded? Do you think maybe Ireland has a possibility of the top flight in Ireland where QPR could maybe look and scour in terms of maybe potential deals? Obviously, Sinclair Armstrong is a classic example of something that has come out of Ireland.
Yeah, you've just mentioned it there. I was just going to say Sinclair Armstrong is a perfect example of us delving into the Irish market, and we're not afraid to do it. I think Paul Smith years ago as well, So there's definitely some gems to be had in the Irish market. We've been looking at it. I looked at it at my last football club. I'm looking at this football club, and yeah, undoubtedly, you'd be stupid to discount Ireland, because I think there's some good players there. Sinclair being an absolute prime example. If we can keep Sinclair fit and more robust, I think we've got a hell of a player on our hands there, and he's as Irish as they come. So yeah, we're really interested in that market.